Hey, so today we're going to go over one of the key training principles that you need to know more about in order to really make some serious progress towards your goals, whether they be building muscle strength, endurance, or size. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand how to incorporate this into their training programs, progressive overload that is, including a lot of trainers. So we're going to be heading over to the gym to shoot our next video right now. So come along for the ride and we'll get started. So first, I think it's important to explain a little bit of how and why resistance training works, the concept of overload and why and how it helps you make progress towards your goals in your training program, and also what the difference between progressive overload and overload really are, because yes, they're different. So with regards to training, your body is actually an amazing thing, all right? Your body is highly adaptable. And if you put a stress on your body that's greater than what it's used to doing, your body will actually adapt and improve itself in order to be able to handle that increased load or stress that you place on it. So think of it like this. Your muscles are used to working as hard or not as you typically push them in your daily activities. So if you lead an active lifestyle, you exercise regularly, your muscles are going to be very used to this, and they're going to have adapted in a positive way and able to handle whatever you normally throw at them. On the opposite side of the spectrum, if you're sitting on the couch of doom all the time and you're pretty sedentary, not really doing much, you know what? Your muscles are going to atrophy. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose your abilities and your muscular strength and endurance. So with that in mind, everyone's muscles have a minimum threshold needed in order to have a positive adaptation occur. And that's really the concept of overload. And overload can be defined as adding more exercise resistance than the muscles have previously encountered to stimulate adaptations. While this most often refers to the physical amount of resistance or load the muscles are pushing, it can also refer to the volume, intensity, or even endurance-related training metrics. So if you're currently fairly active, you do yard work pretty often, you play some activities with your kids, little sports or whatever, but you don't currently train with weights or resistance training or anything like that. If you were to add any new resistance training program to your plate, you would actually, your threshold you'd have to hit is probably pretty low because you're not used to it. Your body is not accustomed to this kind of exercise. Therefore, you would actually start making progress pretty quickly initially. So if you think about it, that's one of the many reasons why beginners in the gym who are just starting a training program and have never really done this before have a much easier time making increases in their strength, their muscular size and endurance, because it's all new to them. They're overloading their muscles and their body for the first time, and the bar is actually set fairly low. So it's easier to make these changes. But as they improve and things change, the threshold they have to hit is a little higher and a little higher and a little higher. Their progress often slows down and plateaus over time as their body becomes more adjusted to what stress they're putting on it and requires a greater overload applied in order to continue making progress and getting better results. So that brings us to the next part of the topic, but we're pulling up to the gym right now and we'll pick this up as soon as we get inside. So let's take this concept of overload to the next level, and we're going to introduce the concept of progressive overload, which can be defined as the process of gradually adding more exercise resistance than the muscles have previously encountered over time, making training progressively more difficult. So a good gauge on when you really want to start jumping things up is once you're able to get about 12 repetitions on every set in any given exercise you're doing, that's when you know you're ready to start moving things up. And you want to progressively overload yourself on the next time you work out that that muscle group by just jumping up the weight by about 5% and then seeing how many reps you get. That's going to really start to increase your results. If we're talking about reps and sets, generally speaking, going 8 to 12 repetitions until you hit failure or fatigue in your muscles is a good range to stick to if you really want to see any physical adaptations occur, as that represents about 70 to 80% of what your 1 rep max is. But I generally recommend against ever testing your 1 rep max because that's usually where injuries can occur most frequently. So with all that said, there's actually many different ways you can include the concept of progressive overload in your training program, such as the following. Increase the resistance being lifted. For example, if you're currently able to comfortably bench press 100 pounds for 12 repetitions, increase the load to 105 pounds the next time you perform this exercise in a subsequent workout, and try to get as many reps as possible per set, which will likely be reduced by at least 1 to 2 repetitions for each set. The next one, increase the number of reps performed at a specific weight, which means if you can currently leg press 100 pounds for 3 sets of 10 repetitions, you can try increasing the number of reps performed in your next workout to 11 repetitions per set using that same 100 pounds. The next one is to increase the number of sets performed using the same weight. This is basically increasing volume, which is another concept we'll discuss in a different video. If you can comfortably achieve 3 sets of 10 reps at 100 pounds on the bench press, in your next chest workout doing bench press, add a 4th set to this exercise, while either reducing the reps slightly in each set or just seeing how many you can achieve to failure in your new 4th additional set. Another method is to reduce your rest periods between sets and/or exercises, which can also be referred to as increasing the work performed within a period of time. So, in other words, if you typically rest 90 seconds between each set, try reducing it down to 75 seconds or even 60 in the next workout, but without changing the resistance reps or sets for that exercise. You're going to increase the intensity with this method, but you're also going to cause different adaptations to occur, like muscular endurance improvements. And the last one is make changes to any given exercise to increase the difficulty. So instead of performing your normal speed repetitions, you can change this to focus on going much slower during the eccentric part of the motion, or when you're going down on a push-up, for example, pausing at the top or bottom of each repetition, or introducing another element or tweak in form that may increase the level of difficulty. Each of these are effective strategies that you can use to push yourself above and beyond your current ability levels and get past that minimum threshold needed in order to start making some serious improvements. Even if you do all of the above, you're going to seriously limit your progress if you're not eating healthy or properly, and if you're not getting enough rest and sleep and recovery time so that your muscles have the ability and time needed to grow back bigger and stronger with the proper fuel to do so as well. I'm going to go into much further detail about all this stuff in a future video where we go into the topic of periodization, which really takes things a whole step further from what we've already discussed. When that video goes live, I'll link it up here, so depending on if it's live or not, you may or may not see something there. But periodization and progressive overload are the 2 foundational elements in any training program that we give all our clients at fitlab.com, because in all honesty, they're the safest and most effective methods to use if you want to really reach your goals. So I think that's it for tonight. I'm going to go get a little workout in before I head home for dinner, but until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to check your ego at the door. Have a great day. Are you going to the gym or working out at home, but not getting any great results? Stick around, and today I'll cover what, come on. This is so bad already. Hey, so today we're gonna go over one of the key training principles that you really know. I can't speak. I think it's about that time to wrap things up, and I'm gonna get a little workout in before I head home for dinner. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and always remember, check your ego at the door. Have a great day. I had a burp in the end. Great, I'm gonna do it all over again.